Glory to Jesus Christ. This is the fourth Sunday where we talk about the healing miracles of Jesus Christ. The first was the centurion, then the two demoniacs in the one town of Capernaum, and then the paralytic. And now we have two blind men. What does Christ say to the two blind men? Let it be done according to your faith. According to your faith. In a way, what is faith? Faith is a belief that requires action. It's a kind of give and take. It's what calls us here today on every Sunday and Holy Day. If you think of Abraham and the covenant that he had with God in the city of Ur, he was an old man, and God called him to the promised land. So Abraham had faith in God and this covenant and traveled all the way to this promised land at this old age, where God told him, you'll have as many descendants as the stars in the sky. But he's an old man and his wife is barren. It takes a lot of faith. Noah built an ark not when it was raining, but before everything happened. And the Hebrews were delivered from Pharaoh and marched for 40 years. This is an act of faith. But let's go back to 4 weeks ago with the centurion. When the centurion, there's a part of context historically where we learn about the centurion. It's called victory theology, especially among pagan societies of the ancient world, is that if my civilization could beat your civilization, clearly my gods, my pagan gods, the pantheon of gods, were better than your gods. And the centurion, who we know rose through power and authority, as this is what he tells Jesus Christ, he belongs to a civilization that over 150 years conquered from London to Portugal, North Africa, Saudi Arabia. Clearly, in his mind, his gods were very powerful. And yet, to his sick servant, he is powerless. His gods cannot help him. So where does he turn? He goes to Galilee, to this backwater village, to Jesus Christ, a Nazarene. This is humbling. And Christ says, never before have I seen faith like yours in Israel. Now, mind you, his 12 disciples are right behind him. All of them have left their homes to travel with Christ, and yet his is a greater faith than all of theirs. Faith, it requires this action. He abandoned his pantheon of gods who led 150 years of conquest on foot and horseback to follow Jesus Christ for even just a moment. This is faith. These blind men, Christ encounters them on the roadway, and somehow they follow him. We forget this. How would they be able to follow Jesus Christ? But their faith is all-consuming that they come to Jesus. Lastly, where do we find this in our own faith? We see this in coming here to Sunday worship, in your daily prayer rituals. If you think about the two demoniacs, what happens in Capernaum after Jesus expels two demons that were terrorizing this village? Their lack of faith, they asked Christ to leave their presence. And we examine ourselves. Are there moments, small moments, where we tell Christ, let me continue on with my day. I need to do this other thing. In a small way, we expel Christ from in our souls, this lack of faith. But I assure you, right before communion, there's this moment where we too are the two blind men. And you hear the words, approach with fear of God and with faith. Glory to Jesus Christ.